Cutters, Degrassi, unpopular opinions. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Degrassi unpopular opinion / hot take. So basically, a while ago, I took a look at Schools Out, the first Degrassi so-called movie, and all that. I also took a look a couple weeks ago at the Degrassi Goes Manhattan and Degrassi Goes Hollywood movies after seasons 8 and 9. And said whether they're necessary and all that. Now, this whole Degrassi Don't Look Back / Summer Holiday one from season 14 after the finale of Degrassi, after finally in season 14, it's like, what are my thoughts? I personally think that the whole situation did not make sense and all that. Like, there wasn't really a lot of fallback and all that. And, the ending shocked me the most, obviously. So, season 14 ended with the episode, and basically, the Drew's group graduates and all that. And basically, they're happy about being Degrassi and all that. And that basically, we find out that Pill is trying to punish Drew in such a way that she basically forces the other students, the underclassmen, to play her way come September and all that. And then basically, Drew balks at doing things, but basically the graduating class says we love Drew, and basically Pill lets Drew get his diploma on the stage. So yeah, and then a few months later, I find out there's a Degrassi movie called Don't Look Back, and I'm like, huh? So I guess and I'm like, well, if it's an update video about season 14, like it was only a few months passed by. So basically, Don't Look Back had a few major storylines that intertwined and all that. But the two major storylines was that Maya was trying to be a lifeguard, failed her CPR training. So basically, she was trying to find something, and then this music producer decides to hire Maya as a nanny and all that to deal with her kids and all that. And basically, I think Sig or Miles, I think Sig was upset that Maya is basically being a slave to her just to get into the music business. And then Maya decides to basically talk to her about the problems being she should be with her kids and all that. And, Maya says all this stuff all willy-nilly, but then basically she gets fired for being a nanny and all that. Actually, she was not supposed to be a nanny. It was supposed to be this girl named Gloria. But then she ends up getting kidnapped and all that. So practically, Maya gets it in. And then basically, after Maya loses her job as the nanny, she basically finds out through a lot of things that, she finds out about Gloria being kidnapped and all that. At the same time, Frankie is doing an internship for her dad at City Hall and meets this guy who looks nice and seems to be nice and all that. So basically, what you got is the fact that, a lot of things. Also known as Summer Girls, yeah. Season 14 and all that. Nanny for prestigious music producer. Maya gets a job. Frankie's sitting here intern. And Zoe. Oh, yeah, Zoe has to go through summer school, I guess, mostly because of her Degrassi nude stuff and all that. There's a lot of weird things and all that. So, yeah, this was amazing. So, yeah, so they find out that Gloria's gone missing, and they all decide to work together to try to find her again. However, Maya ends up getting kidnapped and all that and put on. But we soon learn about Gloria and the fact that she, with the intern that Frankie liked, actually were working together. It's revealed to be some kind of kidnapping plot for money. And guess who gets victimized by it? the Hollies were. So basically, they're trying to force Frankie to pay a ransom and all that they basically get to keep and all that. Frankie doesn't have her birthday money because she spent it on that Great Gatsby thing, and basically, wants Hunter to give up his part of the money. So yeah, it was weird that they were working together, and everyone used math to figure things out, and Gloria and her friend get caught and put in prison and all that. Grace, Zoe, and I guess Hunter get a mayor's recommendations or something like that. Get something from the mayor. So basically, it was upsetting that Frankie, got gypped out of money and all that. That it was a setup. So basically, Gloria's out of the way, and basically, it is a happy ending in a sense because Maya is told by the music producer that basically she needs Maya to help her with the music industry so that she can spend more time with the kids. So basically, Maya gets the job and she's happy as can be. And then Tristan, who was flogging through this whole thing, basically said, "You think that was bad about Degrassi? Things are about to get a whole lot crazier." And I'm like, "What?" And then it's revealed that Degrassi's coming back with a new iteration next class. I'm like, "What the fuck? Can't you just stop it already? Who cares?" Everyone had good stories. I mean, yeah. And then, next class starts up, and, Tristan and Miles go head to head for student council president and all that. And then Simpson's back. It's like, oh, great. Simpson basically was cleared of everything because his lack of knowledge actually did come in handy and all that. And that's the most thought. I think they investigated Simpson. They found out that Simpson didn't have too much to play in it. So basically, they let him come back. And then all of a sudden, he's back being principal. Now, I think that is the main option. But you also got to realize that there might have been another option. Because remember, Pill was being a little bit overzealous and all that with her rules and all that, especially the cameras in the hallway picking up audio because she needs to find out if she's just doing a good job and all that. She wants to help the students out. Like spying on your students, geez. And then the affection policy. Like, hell, I don't like this one bit. So, yeah, it's awful. And I figured that Pill was doomed from the start. I think Pill figured that she was going to do such a good job that her interim tag would be taken away. And the school board would like that. I think the school board actually thought that she should stay for half the year and then basically we're going to get Canner. And also the fact that Mrs. Torres, although she's not a real high-ranking member of the school board, may have had an influence on Pill's things because, she saw Drew, get punished by Pill and all that. And she knew that Pill overstepped her boundaries. And basically she would have said something and there would have been chain command and Pill would have been eliminated. But yeah, so this person, I don't know how to say, Retro and Yuwu in Degrassi Don't Love Back Wasted Opportunity says that the focus on the movie is about a girl who literally has never been in the Degrassi universe before, and the whole thing is a detective movie. So dumb. People always forget that this 4-part movie exists and all that. Some like it. Tristan doing commentary was too over the top and all that. And someone said, I get that Next Class was a soft reboot that was reaching new audiences. And so they couldn't just be like, oh yeah, Maya was kidnapped over the summer and scared them off. But the fact that Maya was kidnapped and it wasn't addressed later is something. Yeah, and Salas Avocado said, it's the absolute worst plotline ever. They use math to figure out where she is instead of calling the police or telling their parents. It's possible that, Maya may not have had a chance to try to reach out and for people to get hurt. Like she got kidnapped. I think basically they took away everything, every indication that where Maya was, and then they used math and all that, which was weird and all that. So yeah, it was weird. And I mean, I know I was a little fuming over the fact that, they basically used this as a soft opening for Next Class and all that. But they didn't talk about this at all. Like, what came out of it for the next class universe? Nothing. It didn't make sense. It didn't start any like plot lines and all that. For Maya in season 1 of Next Class, she was basically becoming a feminist and all that. Like, they didn't mention her kidnapping or her working for a music producer and trying to be her lifeguard and all that shit. But no, it didn't tie in. It just said that basically they were introducing new characters. Like, there weren't any characters in that four-parter that basically came up in Next Class. It was like puzzling and all that. At least Degrassi Takes Manhattan and Degrassi Takes Hollywood actually had some plot lines that led into future seasons and all that. I mean, with the whole Fiona Holly J situation, and then, in Degrassi Takes Manhattan, Degrassi Takes Hollywood, that basically Manny leaves the show to be an actress and all that. And that's why Emma said in season 9 that basically she's all by herself. Liberty went to pre-law, and Manny's now an actress. She doesn't have any friends. So yeah, it set that up, but it didn't really set up anything for Next Class. Nothing got set up for Next Class. It was just basically introducing a new iteration. I mean, let's face it, Next Class did have some highs. I mean, it introduced us to the racism storyline that wasn't taken that well. The bus crash that got Maya into a super depression that she almost offs herself at the end of season 3. And basically, a lot of other stuff like Esme and the Syrian immigrants and all that. So yeah, it had some good stories, but it didn't really lead. It led to Next Class, but it didn't lead to any plot lines that were talked about in Next Class and all that from the whole summer and all that. Nothing serious from that happened. It was just basically carte blanche. And I won't have any of it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching.